The last two Vinaya classes we've had, the classes on our rules. The monastics are going over twice a week. We've been talking about talking about speech and how to use speech. And this is one of the factors of the Eightfold Path. So the Buddha places a lot of emphasis on it. It's really a very rich field of practice, something that I think most of us can work on. I can say for myself that it's something that I notice needs continual mindfulness, because it's so very easy to allow something to come out that we might later regret. When I first came to the monastery, I just thought silence was the way, just avoid any problems through silence, but that's not what the Buddha teaches. In fact, I found it quite interesting to learn that the Buddha, he made it an offense after hearing about a bhikkhu who determined silence for the Vassa period, this period we're in now, and the Buddha said that that was an offense for monks to do that for the Vassa period. So the words that the Buddha uses is samma when he talks about speech. So that's right speech, or you can say harmonious speech or correct speech. And there's an idea that we need to acknowledge that we have to use speech, but it's of course how we use it that makes the difference. So how do we sometimes fill up space when we're around each other? How do we use speech in a way that can be skillful or unskillful? It's something to be examined. We talk about truthfulness, and one of the themes that came up in the class is how easy it can be to allow some sort of non-truth to slip in, a slight exaggeration of a story, or telling a joke, or saying one knows when one doesn't actually know that. And this can come out of just feeling, well, I don't want to be somebody who doesn't know something, so I should feel confident. And it's not even something that's necessarily conscious; it just can come out. If we're mindful, we can catch it later. So, oh, actually, did I know that? Is that completely true? Or did I just want to know that? Want to be someone who knows? So we need to protect our speech so that we can essentially protect our minds and protect the minds of others. We not only help ourselves, but we help those who we're around, those who we live with, when we're very careful with what we say. So this is even acknowledging just a sense of, as I was mentioning, just filling up the space. What the Buddha talks about is idle chatter. And there's ways to use speech that helps break the air, that helps introduce ourselves. It's not that everything that isn't Dhamma is idle chatter. So we do need to have some ways of talking to others and speaking with others. But then it's just that sense of seeing when the speech gets away from us, it kind of moves into a place where nothing's really being said that's important. It's just sort of space to fill. Perhaps there's a discomfort with silence. So we say something or another, something we find interesting. I find it useful for my own practice when I can catch myself in that, just to, is that necessary? And it's not a punishing kind of sense, like, that's something stupid, I shouldn't say that. It's just, what's it feel like when I don't actually say this thing? I do want to fill the space up, but I don't fill it. Or do I feel averse when somebody else fills up the space? I'm not using idle chatter, but they are. So it's a very rich field for us to practice with, just that kind of examining, looking. And the degree that the Buddha suggested that we explore this area is much more so than I found in other religions. But I think it's really that we inform ourselves of how our minds are and prevent ourselves from getting into so much trouble. When we take this factor of the path quite seriously, and we give it weight, we use it and examine it and explore it.